thanks for tuning in. I want to cover some things about the Ampero Stage 2. So many videos are coming out about this unit. My heart is so happy that Hotone made this. And before I get started, let me just take a moment to thank all you guys at Hotone. Amanda, Paul, Tom, you guys were awesome at the NAMM show. You went above and beyond. And that just really stuck with me. And I'm so glad I met you guys. And I'm so glad that you make your products. Every Hotone that I've played, the Ampero 1, the Stomp, and now this, you know, the thing about it is two things. One, I don't know if it's like the frequencies that are coming out of here, but it's got a very up vibe, and it just makes you feel good. If you're thinking of buying this unit, just get it. Sorry about my voice, but the other thing about this unit, which I have to say is super important, you know it when you see it, right? So I've played, you know, in my foray into trying to go a little more portable instead of dragging rack stuff with me. I wanted to find something portable that sounded great, sound is most important, and that was functional and intuitive. The other thing is I wanted a unit that did what my racks do, and scrolling around and everything like that. So I want to get into talking about the design of this unit and a couple things that aren't in the manual that I figured out that are really cool, and I'm super happy. And maybe some suggestions to Hotone as well. But again, Hotone, pretty awesome. As I began my foray into portable amp modelers, which is new territory for me, I was looking through YouTube and I stumbled on Ola England's video about the Ampero 1, and I was like, what's that? I never heard of Hotone. And that little thing is pretty badass. In fact, I have to say, many of us who were in anticipation of the release of this unit are surprised that it didn't come with the pedal on board. I think that's kind of key. So when you make the Ampero 3, maybe take some of my suggestions and throw it into the new pedal, and you can throw me one for free. You know, we'll talk. But yeah, so we were surprised about that. And so let me talk about some of the design things. First off, I heard a couple guitar players talk about this, and it's kind of super picky, but we're going to look at it anyway. In the rear of the unit, most guitar players are used to having the first connector as the input for the guitar. In fact, one video, the guy couldn't figure out why he wasn't hearing anything because he plugged his guitar in that first input. The other thing is, you know, you have left and right and send and return and all the letters on the bottom. For the most part, this unit's not going to be on my desk. It's nice to have it here at hand and be able to get at it. But for the most part, it's going to be on the floor. So can we put the words and left and right and all that stuff on the top as well, on the top row right here? We can put it on the top so I can look and see it. This is really picky. I didn't even really want to mention it, but the XLR cable slots, the latch is on the bottom. I didn't have any problem reaching it, but I feel like I'm digging around. I kind of want the latches on the top, so if we could spin those around. Another thing, let's look at the pedal for a second, okay? Do I have anything else to say about this arrangement? No, we're good. Okay, so looking at the pedal, again, it's small, right? But we have this like LCD type of light thing, so I figured, oh, I got to unscrew stuff. It looks like a battery goes in here. So I took them off, both of them, and there's no battery. So, I don't know, it'd be cool to have some lights. But anyway, that threw me off. And the connection for the cables are here. So if I'm going to plug TRS cable in, you know, this is what happens. We have the connectors on the side. Now the pedal's like 3 inches away or something like that. Farther away, see? It's even off camera. Not that that's important, but so we have the cables are pushing that. I might want the pedal a little closer. Why not put the connectors on the top? That way they'll be right next to the expression pedal connectors on the unit, and the pedal The unit is 7 inches from top to bottom. Why not make that pedal that extra centimeter or 1/4 inch so it's a little bit larger? We're used to the Crybaby wahs, the Morleys. Make it a little bigger. You got the room for it, and put the connectors at the top of the pedal. But you can get, you know, I got right angle plugs here, so that was one way around it to be able to get that closer. But whatever. So you have to get the extra cables. When I first saw this unit, and the Ampero one actually, my first thought was these plastic knobs right here. If I'm coming at this thing on stage and I'm going to jump on one of these, I don't want to, you know, these plastic knobs are in the heavy traffic area here. So we don't want that. Maybe bring the knobs up and bring the screen down a little bit. The other thing is I would like to kind of, these are push button. I want these to be push button too. You know, that'd be kind of nice. So scrolling around this thing is a piece of cake. I will say for somebody who's kind of new to this unit, you don't have to scroll up and scroll down, you know, to get to where you're going. You know, you can hold it and it scrolls around. You can just drag and drop this little thing right here and you know, get to the full span of the whole thing, which is a great way to get around. I'm going to talk about that in a second, because if I'm in a, let's say that I'm, you know, in a program and I'm playing in this preset, the Ampero Ii Stage, but I want to scroll around to get to a different program while I'm playing without the sound changing, because you're here, right? That's not going to work. Here's the way around that. I should have saved this for the end of the video, but I'll tell it to you now. I figured out you can go into the secondary editing screen, is what I refer to it as, and scroll around all you want without changing the program you're on until you execute the program that you're changing to. Check this out. So you go into editing. Normally, you would have to press this to go into the secondary editing screen. The nice thing about the secondary editing screen, obviously, this is, you know, you can toggle on and off the effects, which is the exciting thing that excited me about that, because I could do that on my rack. On my rack, I can also access these type of things where you're seeing what foot switch controls which of the effects, right? When I'm in the secondary editing screen, I can scroll around and bank up or down to get to a sound that I want and not change the program I'm on. Pretty cool. And then as soon as you execute it, you're in. The secondary editing screen allows you to do things like go in and change certain items, like the delay, for example. If you hold it, you can get into the foot switch settings, which is cool. So foot switch 3 is delay, but maybe I don't want it to be delay. Maybe I want it to be something else. How about like whatever you want. So you can just turn those on and off. I absolutely love that. I want to say one thing about this. This is a Hotone firmware upgrade scenario. Whatever. If your volume's down, let's say that I put the volume down on the pedal. I want to mess around with the unit. I'm on stage, we're playing live, and I want to scroll around and see what programs I have or something. Check it out. Oh, wait a second. It's not going to work that way. Oh, yeah, I got to play first. Let's go here. See what's happening? I get a little blast of sound. Pedal's down. Why am I getting sound when the pedal's down? You get that blast and the unit's like, oh shit, there's the pedal. I better turn, but too late. People were like, what the hell was that? In the middle of the quiet keyboard solo or whatever's happening. So we need a firmware upgrade for that, I believe. And let's see, so we talked about the plastic knobs in the way, but also let's add some punch press toggle functionality to those. We got the pedal covered, the letters on top of the unit, and the firmware upgrade. Let me show you the firmware upgrade. This also isn't in the manual, so you want to do this when you do the firmware upgrade. What you want to do is you're going to go to Global Settings. You're going to go to Firmware Settings. Now see here, it tells you turn the unit off while keeping USB connected. Press and hold Mod 6 and 7, and then I guess you hold this with your thumb and then turn the unit on to do the firmware upgrade. You don't need to do that. You can just go to this folder. It's going to bring your screen up, and what you want to do is type .bin, get this piece of paper out of my way, and search for that bin file. You can see I ran into a roadblock with this, so I did a lot of it. So there's a bunch of it. But you double click on that and it does the work for you. Easy peasy. The other thing, we're dealing with colors here and in the screen and on the phone app. I love that phone app. We'll get to that in a second. I want to be able to color these. Can we color the presets? I want to make these different colors because those would be my favorites. And then, of course, you click on it and hold copy, and then I can go down to the empty slots and start creating the ones I like out of it. So I started doing that, but I didn't necessarily want to stack my favorite ones into the empty slots right away. I might want to do some labeling. So maybe we could do that and add a firmware update to color those. Here's something that you might want to check out. So let me shut off the Bluetooth just to start from scratch for you. And so you press the Bluetooth here. You're going to turn on your Bluetooth on your phone, and you want to find, turn it off. You're going to look for Ampero, and I'm going to show you a little roadblock you're going to run into when you do this. Okay, it's connected. You would think you could just go to app and turn it on, right? And you can't. You're going to run into a roadblock. You search, and you're still not going to find it. The reason why is because you need to go into the stage and go to Settings, go to Bluetooth, turn Control on, and then search. And then you can press search on your phone and it comes up right away. So that's the way to get these two to talk to each other. And then there's access to everything, which I absolutely love, because you can go to front of house or out in the audience or whatever and get your sound down. You got a tweeter problem with the sound gear, you can compensate and what have you. So this is awesome. The other thing I think is super cool is you can play music from your phone and jam along with it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to jam because we got too many videos with everybody jamming and stuff. So that's kind of cool. I'm not going to go into the looper or the drum machine. There's enough videos about that. And but I will say, here's what I did with this pedal board. This is my first pedal board that I ever bought. And so let me show you some Amazon products that you might want to add. If you're looking for a pedal board, I highly recommend, I think this is the best thing for the money. I love this Donner DB/7200. I bought the 300, and I found that it was just a little too bulky. I got the 22-inch. It's $89, but you get $20 off. There's a coupon right there. But one thing about that is it's not 22 inches long. You lose an inch on either side of the board, so it's only 20. I got it, and I've returned it because it was just a little too bulky. I hope I don't regret that, because every now and then maybe another pedal gets added, but it's just going to have to go on the floor, I guess. So I got the 18. As you can see in the picture, the material's already there. It's got handles. As the bag is a backpack, which I absolutely love. It's nice to have hands-free while you're dealing. And then it has all these extra things, these reusable zip ties, because you could take them off and put them back on again, which is great. A couple patch cables, the Velcro and everything. Here's the right angle, the Ernie Ball right angle TRS cable. And this is the power pack I got. What is it, 12 bucks? $12 power pack. And it's great. And that's awesome. Again, if you're thinking of getting this unit, just get it. You're not going to regret this thing. You're not going to regret it. And the thing that I find invaluable with any piece of gear, right? The guitar you're looking for, you know, it just, you get that, it just resonates, right? It's just right. That's what this is, you know. I can't tell you, and you can put it in the comments if you want for any of you guys that have this unit or you get to play with it. How many times have you gone down the sonic rabbit hole where you're like tweaking your EQs and you're doing some stuff, but then you get lost going down the rabbit hole of the sounds, because the sounds are amazing. It's really, I love this thing. I haven't really recorded, I recorded one thing with it, but I need to do more, of course, but you know, it's great. It's great because this isn't a $699 box. It's not like some, I mean, it's a piece of equipment, but if it inspires you to make music, that's what it's about. Go make some music, and thanks for watching.